Starting live.
Hello everybody, it is Ariston C.M, author and entrepreneur. I would like to first and foremost say hello and thank you for those who are joining me and those of you who are watching the replay. It's been a couple of weeks, maybe a little bit more, that has gone by since I've seen you. So I just want to thank you for tuning in. Should I jog your memory? I am the author of The Courage to Dance Again, Finding Purpose in Your Pain. This book is available on Amazon and it is currently 99 cents. The hardcover, not the hardcover, I'm sorry. The paperback version is also available on that. Also, my newest book, Poetry's Love Song, which is available on Amazon as well. This book is also 99 cents. The paperback cover will be available probably within the next week or so. So today I just want to talk to you just for a few moments about staying on the course. The reason why I chose to talk about this is so many times in life we have a set path for ourselves, whether we put ourselves on that path or whether we feel that God has put us on a path. And oftentimes, due to different situations, we get off that path. And it's often not a very good thing. So, you were on a path to a better life. Perhaps it was a decision to leave an unhealthy relationship. Maybe you were developing better habits. Perhaps you were just living an unfulfilling life and you decided to take charge. Whatever the reason, you allowed the deception of the enemy to get you off of course and interrupt the plans for your life. But you have to ask yourself why. There are lots and lots of reasons why this could happen. Maybe you fear the unknown. I know that so many times we have fears of what's to come. And so if we don't understand something and we don't know all the details, we automatically fear. And so that's a big problem in a lot of people. I know I've definitely had that problem multiple times, and I'm sure you have too. And it's a way of us protecting ourselves. You know, one of the things that we have to know is that we cannot always protect ourselves, but if we are on a course and we know that it's a positive place to be, that we have to trust God in order to continue to bless us while we're on that course and to give us what we need to sustain us while we continue to walk. Sometimes it's a lack of results. Sometimes in our lives we don't see change happening as quickly as we would like it, and so we get quickly off course there. And that's anybody. We live in a microwave society. We want everything quick, fast, and in a hurry, and we don't want to wait. You know, and one of the things that I've learned is that my timing is not the same timing as God. You know, all this time may have gone by, and you know, while I think it's been years and forever, to God it may just be a week or two. Perhaps you were influenced by someone who didn't know what they were talking about. How many times do you guys have friends and have people in your circle who think that they know what's best for you? And because they're in our circle, we automatically feel like we can trust them and we listen to what they say. And because of some of their ill advice, it causes us to get off of our path. You know, some of the things that we have to definitely do is be careful of who we are getting our information from, you know, and listening to others, because a lot of times you can kind of tell who you're supposed to take advice from looking at that person's life and the results in their life, and you can determine whether you can trust them or not. If you I'm sorry, I didn't got off my notes. I'm sorry. One more thing. I'm sorry. Okay. Oops, low battery. So I gotta talk quick, guys, because my low battery is low. So I do apologize for that. I didn't charge my phone. Okay, so anyway, I encourage you to start what you finish. And I am going to read an excerpt out of my book, The Courage to Dance Again, available on Amazon. And it reads this. Before I start reading this, you know, if you made the decision to start something new, it's because you recognize that there was a problem within your life. Whether it was a deficiency, whether it was a change that needed to be made, you made that decision. Okay, so here, I'll explain after I read it. I went into a period of mourning. My dreams were shattered because I didn't follow the plan. I was disobedient and thought I knew what was best for my life instead of allowing God to work in me. I really wouldn't allow myself to think any other way because I was wrong in what I was doing. I tried to justify it by saying I prayed about it. I told the Lord to take the things out of my life that didn't need to be there, but He didn't. I know that we cannot mistake God's silence for an answer, but I did. Out of my own selfish desires, this situation came to be. This was not God's intended purpose, but I left the path, and now I had to suffer the consequences of my decisions. I couldn't blame God because it was me. Oftentimes, we get ourselves into undesirable situations, and we want to blame God for it. Then we walk around angry for years at God when we know what we were doing was wrong. There are always signs, but we ignore them. And in my case, I craved love, I craved God, I craved His will for my life. I saw it all in one individual, and I allowed myself to be caught off guard. At this point, I had decided that I was going to live for God, and I allowed myself to get in this position again. It was one of the hardest things I had to do, but I knew it would be worth it in the end. I found the strength to put God first. In this particular chapter in my book, I was in a battle. I was in a relationship that I thought that was ordained by God. Why did I think that? Because all the pieces seemed to be put together. This individual was in ministry. Ministry was what I was seeking, and we had similar plans. And so all of our plans and everything matched up perfectly. So I was so close to my purpose, and I didn't want to let it go. I knew that I was wrong in what I was doing. I was wrong in the relationship that I had allowed to form. But because I wanted to do God's will so bad, and I seen it all in this one person, I couldn't let go. And so when I came to the point where I knew that this is not God, this is not what He wants, I have to let go. It was one of the hardest decisions in my life, because all I could think of is I have to give it all up. I was this close and I have to give it all up. And it wasn't so much about the individual. It was, but it was more so that for the first time in forever, I was right there at my purpose. And so that's what hurt me the most, because basically I had to just let it all go and start over. But it was my fault because of my disobedience. The Lord told me in the beginning, about my relationship and the way that I should go about it and everything. And I basically just totally went against God's will, thus causing me, a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. And of course, it set me back really far. And sometimes we don't recognize the enemy in our lives. It could be in the form of something good, and in this situation it was something good. It was a person that I had a common ground with. It was a person who shared the same thoughts and ideas, but the fact of the matter was, technically I was still married, and even though I was finished with my marriage, I was still wrong in my actions. And so that's where I went wrong, and we have to just be more aware. And for me, the Lord did give warnings, and I believe that He gives us warnings and we just choose to ignore them. With this particular individual, the Lord told me, not to cross certain boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do, you're going to mess everything up. And before I knew it, I messed everything up. Does that mean that the Lord was not going to restore or still bless me? No, I believe that He will restore everything, and I do believe He still will bless me because He has. However, there was a price to pay for that, and I'll never know what could have happened or what I could have had or where I could have gone because of my disobedience. So we do have to recognize those things, that even if they are good, they may not necessarily be good for us, which is why it's so important to put things before God and to pray before making moves. Another thing to be aware of is stuff coming out of the blue. New situations, new people, just coming in, why is this person here in my life all of a sudden, And so you have to begin to ask yourself these questions. You have to begin to seek God on these things, because again, if you're a lonely person and you got a new friend, of course you're going to be excited about that friend or whatever, and you're going to allow them into your space very quickly, not knowing the kind of detriment that they may bring. So we have to be a little bit more cautious. And one last point that I want to make is we have to not ignore that still small voice. That is God's spirit in us. Maybe some people say the universe is speaking to them. Others say all kinds of different things. Whatever it is, your gut instinct, whatever it is, you need to listen to it, because sometimes I believe just about 98% of the time we do have that feeling. We know if something is right or wrong, but because we don't understand it, then we allow it into our lives, and then we have this big mess, and then we're angry with God, and then we want to sit there and disown religion and not go to church and just do all these things because we failed to do our part, because we didn't listen. So I just want to encourage you that if you are on a path, and you know that God has put you there, stay that path, whatever it is, whether it's making life improvements, whether it's, embracing who you are and learning to love yourself, whether it's creating new habits, better financial habits, stay on that course, because that's so important, and that's going to make the world of difference in your life. So many times we sit there and we get to a certain age and we look up and 15 years has passed and we're still in the same place, and that's because we kept getting off course. We have an idea of what we should be and where we should be, but however, we get impatient and we don't want to wait, and we try to do things in and of ourselves, and that's not how things work. So I just want to encourage you all, of course, send me emails, send me messages if you guys need any help. I am available. Make sure you stop by Amazon and get my books. I will be running a free promotion again. I'll let you guys know when it is, so that you can download them for free. Poetry's Love Song and The Courage to Dance Again. They are both on Amazon. You can visit my blog, www.loveariston.com. I'm also on YouTube, Instagram. So leave me messages, follow me. If you guys want to talk about something specific, just inbox me and let me know. You guys have a wonderful, blessed work week. Bye, and thank you for watching.